Welcome to the Roadside Realities channel. In this episode, we'll talk about the dangers of driving without proper rest. Fatigue can be deadly on the road, so let's get started. The collision happened right at the intersection, but everything is still quite okay. Moving too fast, the car couldn't control itself and crashed into the curb. Perhaps the red car wanted to overtake quickly, but still didn't make it. Running the red light, the car immediately faced danger. Sudden braking caused the container to have an accident. Why did the car try to overtake at such a close distance? This intersection could be called the crossroads of accidents. Losing the brakes, the car uncontrollably sped through the tunnel. After the collision, the car suffered severe damage. The accident occurred after the car lost balance and swayed on the road. Moving too fast, the car caused a horrific accident at the intersection. The container braked suddenly and faced the consequences. Accidents from natural disasters are difficult to avoid. The container braked suddenly and immediately slid down the road. Overtaking too closely, the car caused an accident just because it didn't pay attention to the distance. The car braked suddenly, slid, and caused a collision with two other cars. The roadside tree suddenly fell, of course. The car had to bear the consequences. Controlling speed is always a priority for drivers. Perhaps the car not only lost control, but also lost its brakes. Trying to run the red light, the car caused a major accident. If the driver had controlled the speed, everything would have been fine. The car overtook with too close a distance, causing the accident. The collision from one side affected the other side of the road. Praying that the train will reach the end of the station safely. Impacted from behind, the car crashed into the car in front of it. Trying to brake only made the car slide further down the road. drivers should observe carefully to learn from experience. After the collision with the curb, the container immediately lost control and overturned. The collision with the curb caused the car to have problems. Why were two cars going in opposite directions on the same road? After the collision, both cars crashed into the curb, causing severe damage. The sudden stop of the car made the car behind unable to react in time. After the collision, all three cars were involved in the accident. Perhaps it was too dark for the driver to see the parked car. The wheel suddenly fell off. Drivers should regularly check their vehicles. A terrible fire broke out. Hopefully, no one was injured. Sudden braking made the car slide a long distance down the road. The container overturned due to loss of balance. Fortunately, no one was affected. The container lost control, causing a series of collisions. After the collision, the car seemed to lose complete control. Maybe the driver pressed the accelerator too hard while turning. The collision happened because the car ran the red light. Quite a rare accident. Really dangerous. The container lost its brakes, pushing the car onto the curb and continuing to run. Sometimes nature brings really terrible winds. Another car was blown a long distance by the wind. Another accident because the wheel came off. The accident left a deep lesson for both drivers. Both need to learn from this experience. Changing lanes suddenly like that is not good for drivers. Snow-covered roads are hard to see and drive on. Drivers should be careful. Perhaps the driver wasn't aware of what they caused. Sudden braking caused the driver to panic. The car crashed into the curb. Don't go too fast on curves, it's easy to overturn. The fault was due to both cars not observing carefully. Changing lanes too closely, the car immediately collided. Maybe the driver pressed the accelerator too hard while reversing. The car tried to avoid but still couldn't escape the collision.